What's going on, y'all? This is Pastor Michael J.T. Fisher, and you are watching The Vault. We are so excited to be here and interview some young couples, hashtag Black Love, hashtag Young and Married, hashtag Saved and Married. I don't know. I'm running out. I'm Pastor Michael Fisher, and I pastor Greater Zion Church family in the beautiful city of Compton, California, and this is our new YouTube series. All right, so we're going to start over here and let everybody, the Alunquas. I don't know how to do this. Would you like for the man to introduce you, or do you want to introduce yourself?
You can introduce.
Oh yeah, I'll introduce myself. My name is Chidi Olunkwa, and this is my wife,
Denise Olunkwa.
And these are the Gordons, right? And they seem to be a liberal house, so I guess I don't know.
a liberal house.
She segues.
The man of the house.
Is that what we?
Yes.
Come on, you better tap for the cameras. My name is Frederick Gordon, and this is my wife, Robin Gordon.
That's it? Oh my gosh, I like how she does that. Anyway, I'm married too.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm just saying, I don't want nobody looking at being like a single pastor interviewing a married couple. Like I'm married as well. Anyway, so who pursued who?
He did.
Okay.
Completely.
Yeah.
All the way. Yeah, he wrote in I had a notebook, and he wrote in the notebook, and I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, I'll just write some things, and I looked at it, and it said, buy your man or buy your boyfriend, and he had like a list of things. And so I was just like, okay, so I'll buy him this. But he's just like, yeah, you can buy me that. I was just like, whatever. And then later on, because I was dating someone at the time.
Wow.
So then later on, we went to the grad night. Yeah. But later on, we went to the grad night, and that was like technically like our first date. And then I asked him to go to prom because my prom date flaked on me, and then he wasn't going to prom with anyone, so then we ended up going to prom together.
Okay.
And then when I asked him the infamous question that I asked every guy that I was talking to and stuff, like, okay, so when my boyfriend, because he was in the service, I said, so when he comes back, what are you gonna do? And then he said, when he comes back, I'll still be here. And so I said, oh really? And he's just like, yeah. He's like, I'm here. So I said, oh, okay.
You can get rid of him.
Yeah, but the thing was, like, every other guy that I talked to, when I asked that question, they were just like, oh, well, I'll be gone. I'm good.
Oh, wow.
We can end it. He was the only one was just like, yeah, no, I'm here.
Wait a minute, let me get this straight. So you did all of this knowing that she was someone else's girl?
Wow. The eyebrows tell it all.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you know that this was going to be your wife? Or were you just that man where you was like, look, I live for taking other people's girls?
No, I definitely was not the guy.
The question just got real.
Yeah, right. No, it did. It really did. No, I actually wasn't. I think it was definitely after our first date. It was something that I was just considering. It was something that I was strongly considering. Like this is it.
Because you guys got married at what age?
21.
No, we were 20. We were 20.
Finally, I tripped you up.
Yeah. No, we were 20.
Oh, right, because
that
was the first year.
And we were turning 21.
Right.
And we eloped. So we were planning the whole wedding. So we were planning the whole wedding and everything, and it was because we were 20. It was, you're too young. It's not gonna work. It's only gonna last a year. You guys don't know what you're doing. You're stupid. You're all this. We heard everything.
Wow.
And so we were just like, okay. So we're still gonna plan it. We're still gonna do everything. If you guys want to support us, then support us. But if you don't, then you don't. And then it was, okay, we'll support you. We'll back you. And then we went to get the marriage license. It was actually on our first date anniversary. So we both took off work to go get the marriage license. So we'll have it for the actual wedding that was planned. It was like August or something like that. I don't remember. And while we were there in Norwalk, saw that you can get married at the courthouse. And we're just like, oh.
Yeah,
And they
I
were
saw
like,
that too. Like you see it on the form.
And so then the lady was just like, there's no line. And literally, it was empty. There was no one there. It was just, and I was just like, you got time for here? Let's do it. So right then and there, the ring that he proposed to me with, I took it off. And then he had his ring, and because we had already purchased his ring,
Right.
and then I put his ring on. I put that ring. He put that ring back on, and voila, we were married. And then we came together with our family and told them we're gonna go ahead and postpone this wedding. Like we're just gonna postpone it. We didn't tell them that we actually got married in March. So we were just like, we're gonna keep this to ourselves. We stayed in our separate homes. I was living, we were separate for a full year. Conjugal visits, because we were married.
Conjugal.
Yeah. Because we were married and we had
Visit.
it was legal. It was legal.
Who pursued who?
So I'm gonna say that Robin pursued me.
Wow.
That's what I'm gonna say.
That's what we've been saying for years.
That's what we're gonna do.
But in reality, he pursued you.
In reality, she was a beautiful woman, you know.
What?
She,
Ooh, you beat me to it.
This is the ball.
None of this. You're still a good looking girl. I'm gonna show you how good you look. Anyway, so the story goes that I remember she was wearing a brown dress with a brown belt with a
Brownie points. Here we go.
with a off-white flower. And it was a huge flower. She had her hair back in a ponytail, and I said, "Good God!"
Is this church?
Yeah, she was
Okay. Let's church.
She was at church.
That sounds like the Voice of Destiny uniform.
It was
No,
This was before you created.
Before all of
Oh, wow.
before all
This
of
is
that.
when the seats in the pulpit were on the stage. This
That
is
was
when
2005, 2004, 3, 2003,
I
2.
joined in 2003. We went to Knott's Berry Farm with Pastor Fisher.
We did.
I was a new member, and it was a group of us, and Gordon was always my ride partner. I remember you turning around and saying, "Y'all keep riding together. Is this something you want to tell us?" And I'm like, "No, we're just friends." And then he won me this blue monkey that became the topic of conversation all day at Knott's. And then that evening is when we actually made it official at the end of that day.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of told him.
Yeah, she told me.
I was like, "We together."
Yeah, she told me.
Okay.
And he was like, "Okay."
Now the Olympians got married and then came the family, right? But you all was a different ingredient.
Right.
Yes. So when I met Gordon, I had already had 2 kids, already been married. So we became a blended family overnight. So that's kind of one of the things that made me fall in love with Gordon, that made him stand out for me. Being a mom, I needed to make sure that the person that I was with didn't just come into the relationship loving me. So we dated for a year first before my kids even knew that we were dating. And then after that, when we decided we were serious, we went out on a family date. And he was in the movie theater in a full suit. And he's in the lobby with my son Marquise, who's like 1 at the time.
Just turned 1.
Yeah, just turned 1. Full on fighting, playing Power Rangers. And he's rolling around on the floor in this suit. And they are me hi-ying, and people are looking. And like I'm standing off to the side, like embarrassed. Like I'm not really with them, but I'm with them. And we get in the car, we're leaving, and my kids are in the back. And my daughter leans up and she says, "Dad, where are we going next?" Oh! And we were frozen in the front seat. And he's like, "Should I answer?" And I'm like, "Don't answer." And he's like, "What are we gonna do?" And then Marquise was like, "Dad, Jaden's talking to you." And I'm like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" And we've been together 11 years now.
11.
How old were you then, Gordon?
22.
22, getting ready to be a father and a husband, a huge family, right? Because at 22, two kids is like the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially in the black community, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3.
So, let's ask about gender roles.
Oh, God.
So, because you guys are young couples, right?
Yeah.
You're 37, you all are in your 30s as well. And so, I was talking to the older women and they were saying that it should still be those gender roles. It should still be, well, not all of them, but like, the majority of them were kind of like, it should still be those gender roles. You should still take care of the kids, cook, clean, take care of your man. He's going out providing, coming in. But someone else was saying, in today's time, it requires both to work. And so therefore, those roles kind of are blurred a little bit. What is your take? Like, do you guys have those gender roles in your marriages? Both of y'all, like, does Chidi go and work and come home and expect steak on the plate? Is he like, my drawers need to be folded?
We do, but we don't. As far as like cooking, I do the majority of the cooking. Like if I'm not feeling well, if there's something, where I can't, he will, of course, cook. But for 90% of the time of the cooking, I do the cooking. He likes to wash his own clothes because he does not like the way I wash clothes. I don't touch his clothes. I don't fold his clothes. I don't iron his clothes. I don't do anything with his clothes because he is a perfectionist, and I just don't think it needs all that. Like, I mean, if it's a little wrinkle, it's a little wrinkle. Just quickly iron it out, or let the day fall. But let the wrinkles fall throughout the day. But
I like that.
But Chidi, he's just like, no, like the underwear has to be this way. It has to be this way in the drawer. The closet has to be like shirts, and I mentally, it's just like, to me, that's just too much. I can't.
So Chidi, I see you nodding your head and things of that nature. Is she doing all of this, or you're nodding your head like she's completely lying on camera?
No.
She doesn't do any of this. I don't know what she's talking about.
No.
Here's a question:
Okay.
Do you expect these things from her?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
But you don't cook when I'm not cooking, though.
No, I don't. So you want me to
Go.
All right. Well, you did it. All right. So what happened was let's see how to put this. All right. So over time, what I feel happens is that how the gender role is set, or at least how everything is blurred together, is that they will word it in a way that if you don't help them do something, you look obsolete, or you look like, you don't look like you don't know what you're doing. But if I ask for help, then I also look like I don't know what I'm doing because I'm asking for help.
Okay.
Jesus.
So I am a very capable person. I can do most of the stuff that I need done. But the one thing that I chose not to do was the cooking, because I feel like it's the one thing that something should not have to be shared. Like something just should not have to be shared. Like something you should just come home and just figure it out.
The cooking should not be shared.
Just something. I just said something. I don't. It could be whatever. I just
But
something.
you
Something.
define that as the cooking.
I chose it to be the cooking.
Did you discuss this with her when you chose that?
Oh, no, I didn't.
How do you feel about that?
I was just like, cook you.
I didn't.
Honestly, most times when I don't get home until 6 o'clock, and he'll get home like 4 o'clock, I feel that he can do some of the prep and stuff, so that by the time I get home at 6:30, actually like 6:30, 6:15, 6:30, that I don't have to start from the beginning of the meal.
No, which sounds good. Okay, wait. Well, again, like they have a way of wording it that makes it sound good. That makes it sound very, very good.
I love it.
So now, the prep work on something that you don't know what's going to be done kind of means no
But
prep.
then, okay, that's the truth.
But
we can talk about.
But when you do know what needs to be done, and you say, Chidi, can you put this on the blah blah blah. Is that done or not done?
It has been, but it
Okay,
hasn't
no,
been.
okay,
There was
okay,
time when I
okay.
actually do the rice, and I got home and the rice was just like, oh,
So that one time.
Okay, but still,
Oh, okay.
still.
No, I got you.
No, because how many times have I asked you?
That one time.
We're gonna come back to y'all in a minute. In a second. All we know is Gordon.
That's funny.
The question.
Have a way of wording.
The gender role.
Oh man, cheating, are you into something? Different wives. They may have different rules. The word. You know what I'm saying? They may have different
I'm
rules.
saying, hey, that's what I'm
that
saying.
y'all haven't
No.
discussed. Do y'all have? Do you expect her? Do you expect her to cook, clean, do your clothes, and all that stuff?
You know what? When we first got together, I did. When we first got together, I
How did
did.
that work out for you?
It didn't.
It
didn't work out.
It didn't
Yes.
work. It didn't work out at all.
It was-
I
it
mean,
was
but I
hard.
think that was the part of the learning process of being married.
Hey, Elopement, just to go ahead.
Are y'all over there trying to work this out right now? Wow.
We learned in that first year of marriage that when you come together, it's actually 6 people you're bringing together. You're bringing yourself, and then whatever you saw in the home you would. What we had to learn was that we were not our parents. We were not what we saw growing up, and that didn't work for us. So Gordon grew up with his grandfather, who is very man's man. So he came in with those he expected. And I grew up with both parents until my father passed, but I was 11, so that was the crux of me of learning how to become a woman. And my mom was independent. Do it on your own. You don't need no man to do nothing. So we clashed in the beginning.
2 independent people trying to.
Yeah. So what we did was we had to learn what worked. Yeah, we had to learn what worked for us. Gordon is a great cook, as am I. So we kind of share that responsibility. Sometimes it mainly falls on me because Gordon is usually not home because of work, and I am. But Gordon is OCD with cleaning. He is, the speck in the ground that no one sees but him. So Gordon kind of takes the lead a lot on cleaning. He's banned from laundry because he does not sort colors. Everything gets washed together, and then he buys cheap detergent like that Sun. It's like
$2.50. Before you
get messed up.
But before you
Yeah.
say that, before you say that,
What in the
though,
world, Gordon?
before you say that,
It's a gender role.
wait, don't do that to
It's a
me.
gender role.
Why did that happen? On that page,
Laundry.
though,
Go back to laundry.
I have to go back to laundry. because here's what happened. I left and went to college. Now in college, you are on a budget. Okay, when you have to wash your clothes on a budget, you throw everything in the washing machine and you call it a day.
This is true.
Right? So for years
I my clothes back to my mom.
you just threw it back in there and you call it a day in the washing, right? So I got
so glad that
because-
has graduated.
which is why she goes shopping. Because if I go shopping, I'm
he
gonna
washed-
find.
Jaden has very sensitive skin. I let Gordon wash. He washed in Sun detergent. She
was
had
on
the
sale.
clothes on. I came home from work. I was like, it's time to take a bath. And she took her clothes off, and she still had on clothes. Looked like bumps. She had a bump outfit. And I was like, wait, what happened? And I'm like, what did you use when you went? He was like, oh, I went to Big Lots and you got the Sun and it got the little orange 250. And I was like, we use Tyre in this house.
was
And
on
he
sale.
was like, it was on sale.
It was on sale.
But we have learned.
All right.
In a lot of households, the woman is the one that takes care of the kids when they sick. That ain't me. That's throw up duty because my stomach weak. I gotta leave the house. So Gordon he's that guy. He can get it done and not care. But he is also in his gender roles, and he is Mr. Fix-It. He got a honey-do list every weekend. Fix the cabinets, babe, build this, build me another room. That's Gordon. But I take care of the grocery shopping. We kind of both balance the checkbook, but school stuff, reminder of doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, all that kind of
I'm not
stuff.
good with any of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm the scheduler.
Okay.
I'm the planner of everything.
Oh, how important is compromise? And when do you think that finally happens where you don't feel like you are giving up yourself to make the other person happy?
Compromise never starts at the beginning. It never starts at the beginning. It doesn't, because you come in saying this is what I want and this is how I want it done. So it never starts out at the beginning. And it really, I'll be honest and say, you still work on compromise the rest of your marriage.
Okay, so 11 years in, you guys still have.
We're still working on
compromise.
compromise. We're still working on compromise.
Oh, so I don't have to feel bad.
No,
Okay. So I'm a newlywed, and I definitely am like, no.
There are things that you will.
There are
that
levels.
You will,
There are levels to compromise,
Okay.
and as you journey through your marriage, you learn how to better do it. Like with me and Gordon, one of the biggest compromises it took the longest for us is because, again, I came in with children, and so I had to let him be a father and what that looks like. And they hadn't had one, and I hadn't had another partner on the other end. And so he came up very disciplinarian style. And so for me at first it was like, no, you're not gonna do that. That ain't how I'm doing it. But I have to compromise and let him be the father that he needed to be for them, and sit back and still be comfortable in the mother that I was. And that took a few years of getting some used to. And now at 11 years, we've both gone back and forth to school. Gordon went to school first. That was an argument at first. It was like, no, I don't want to go, and I want to finish. And it was like, no, it would make more sense for him to go now, because then he would be the breadwinner. And so now I'm going to school. But with that compromise comes the change in gender roles. So if I'm at school studying, that means he has to pick up the kids. Dinner has to be cooked before I get home. Homework needs to be done. So it always changes. There's levels in your marriage depending on what you go and grow through.
Godly. What about
Oh, not godly.
No, not godly. I mean, it's just like, you're right, but that's just so much work.
it is.
What? How does it work in the Elopement house? Compromise.
Compromise.
It's the
Denise
compromise.
said, never mind.
There's the compromise.
Yeah.
Have you all mastered it, or do you guys think that may be one of your flaws? Because
I think-
he's like, I want what I want.
No, see that. Okay, so I've mastered compromising over the years, but I noticed that maybe over the last 5-6 years or so, I've noticed how much of myself was lost in the compromise.
Okay.
That over the last 5 or 6 years, I've been stern on certain things, and then, but I mean, for the most part, because I have a giving heart anyway, so you're gonna get what you're gonna get from me because my heart is big. But for the most part, like there are certain things that, like say for instance, like the cooking. There are just certain things that I'm just like, no, this is how this is going to be done, so that I can have peace of mind just trying to do everything else.
So you said something that was very key that I think is vital. So compromise is good, but I also kind of hear you saying, like, as long as it's not at the expense of your partner.
Of course,
Right?
right.
So,
right.
so like,
Right.
what would you say to the couple that is their biggest argument is just like, we just can't seem to meet in the middle, but the reason why the person is not bending is because he or she may be afraid, but I'm going to lose myself.
Right.
Or that's the essence of me that you're asking to compromise.
Right.
And I think I would say you have to examine yourself. For me, I realized that I'm selfish.
Wow.
There's things that GD has been like saying for like years for me to do, and it didn't benefit me. And because it didn't benefit me, then I'm just like, I don't really need to do it. But it would help him.
Got it.
And it wasn't literally until a few months ago, actually, where we've been married 16 years. So yeah, about a few months ago, where it was just like, Denise, like, this is the same thing. We're having the same conversation over and over again. And it's because I'm just selfish. It wasn't benefiting me. What he wanted, or the way he wanted things to happen, or the way he wanted things to go, I didn't see how that would help me. So I was just like, not that I didn't want to do it, but just like, it wasn't for me.
Got it.
I think that's where compromise comes in, though, right? When you begin to love the person just as much or more than you love yourself, right? Because if you say to yourself, if I love them the way that I say that I do, then I can bend a little bit. It's not me losing me. It's really me just toning me down just a little bit for the sake of us, right? Because we have things where we don't compromise on, where we don't shake on, right? But there are times where she'll say, all right, babe. Or, you know, as we all have done before, to prove a point, you'll be like, well, let's try it your way, right? And when you try it, either
it's a petty compromise.
it is a petty compromise, but at the same time, you say to yourself, if you would have listened to me, I knew about that part. If you would have let me lead on that, I'll let you lead on the other part. You let me lead on this part, and that compromise is, all right, you lead this time, I'll lead next time, or, you know, hey, I love you enough to be like, okay, it doesn't have to be 100% my way. Can we have, you know, 75% your way, 25% my way? You know, it's really that moment where you say to yourself, okay, do I really love them enough to kind of bend just a little bit? Not all the way, but just a little bit.
And so that's what
Yo, Robin, go ahead. Don't come to you.
I kind of disagree, only because I am the person who, when I love hard. My heart is on my sleeve. I'm all in. And I think that's where it's something that a lot of couples struggle with compromising and not losing yourself. But I think that is what ultimately we are supposed to do, which is why it is the greatest fight. Because if the two are becoming one, that tells you there that you are supposed to meld yourself into the other person. So there's not an issue of, I lost myself, I have to find myself. You have become something new. And we don't look at it that way, and we spend so much time trying to fight to be individuals. But everything set up about marriage is a change. You change your name as a woman coming in, and then you change who you become. You're no longer just a woman, you are a married woman. And I think that it's a lot harder sometimes for the women because we lose ourselves first and immediately. We're no longer, you know, whatever our father's last names are, we're now a new woman. And then when you add kids into the mix, you no longer have a life of your own. You become, like for Chidi, we joke about it, but for me, I know it's like, it can be a serious thing. She's Sister Chidi.
Right.
I am Gordon's wife.
Right.
She is Elias Chidi,
Pastor Fisher's wife.
Yeah, like we are called by our titles. And so you look and you say to yourself, like, I've lost me because nobody just says Denise, separate from Chidi's wife, separate from being the kid's mom, separate from leading praise and worship, separate from who she is at work. Just plain old Denise.
Wow.
No one goes to that person anymore.
Who am I?
Yeah, and you start to question that.
Wow.
But if we stop trying to fight being an individual and fully hone in on the two becoming one, you are now like Super Denise.
Ooh.
You become multifaceted, and then you learn how to work those areas when need be. And then I know for me, what I had to learn was finding a slice of that pie that was solely Robin, that had nothing to do with my husband, that had nothing to do with my children, had nothing to do with my, ministry or school, just me. And then I stopped fighting him on, I'm losing myself in you and this house and these kids and everything you want me to do, because now I knew that I had a time carved out just for that.
All right, Robin. All right, Robin. Robinology.
Right.
All right, Chidi, you was gonna jump in?
Well, no, I was going to say why I hate the word compromise, or why I hate the society's view of compromise.
Yeah.
Because when we mention the word compromise, it's always me losing something and you're gaining something. When actually what the mindset should be is that the compromise is, I should be able to be fully comfortable with myself to allow you to be fully comfortable with you. So the compromise is just me letting you be you and me be me. So like, I'm not here to change you. I just need you to start working more towards, working for me. I mean, working better with me, while I am sitting here working better with you. So all the things that you do well, all the things that you do whatever, like I'm not trying to change you to make you me. I'll help you be a better you, or help you be you, the greatest you can be. And then the compromise is just me allowing you just to be you, and not me just, you know, trying to change you into myself, but just trying to just fit it together.
Yeah, and I'm such a selfish person.
Yeah, so like,
very hard.
And I get it, but
And I'm the baby of the family.
right.
and then
well, I
we're
mean,
always told that marriage is 50-50, and that's a lie.
it's not. It's 100-100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So like-
the only
like,
thing
you know, like-
50-50
right.
is divorce.
Right.
Right.
That's
Right.
what you
It's not really 50.
That's not even 50-50
not
because we lose more. Anyway, so like, so the thing is, it's like,
underhanded.
80-20.
yeah, so like what happened? So what happened is like, so it's
Song says.
90-10.
Yeah,
Song
so-
says that you can keep. That's what the song
it's
says.
What is your darkest moment of your marriage? So the vault always has a vault question, like something that. What would be your? Yeah, no one ever sees it coming.
We have a moment to deliberate.
No.
This is what you gonna say.
Right. You might get 2 dark moments.
Yeah. What would you say was the darkest? Like you just didn't think you all were going to make it from that valley. Look at their faces.
Is this individual though?
Look at their faces.
I think the darkest moment for me was when it came time to choose between if I really wanted to pursue ministry and how my family was gonna come out. And what I mean by that is because I've been in ministry pretty much all of my life. When Robin came into my life, that's all I was doing. That's all I knew. That's all I focused on. And
ladies and gentlemen, he is the.
Oh, here we go.
He is the Elder Gordon.
I want you to he's the pastor Fisher. I learned everything from him.
Dr.
And
Reverend.
so it was a really dark moment because we had a really bad argument because all I was doing was ministry. I was spending time at home. I wasn't. It was my focus, but it really wasn't my focus. And so me and Robin got into an argument, you know, and her statement to me was, just as much time as you put into them, you need to put into us. And I said, no, she didn't. No, she didn't. She's not gonna make me choose between her and them. And it really sent me to a bad place because I said when she came in, she knew that I loved it. She knew that I loved this. She knew that this was all I knew, this is all I wanted to do, and this is where my heart was. And so we didn't talk for like a month, maybe a month and a half. And every time I came home, it was like, I don't want to talk about it. I can't believe that you would let me choose that. And for a long time, that was a huge sore spot for me. And then she said to me, you know what? I understand that is what makes you happy. That's what you want to do. So if that's what you want to do, then I will support you in it. But don't ever think that that's all that you have. And it was one of those moments where I just had to go back and reevaluate everything.
Oh, would you like to just go ahead and say that that's the one that's going to represent the Gordon dark moment?
It actually, I was yeah.
Good.
It was the same thing that I was thinking.
Alunquas, which one of you all
5
would
points.
throw up?
You wanna go first?
Just one. We just need one.
Do you want to go first? I love it.
Oh Lord. The darkest moment for me was maybe 10, 11 years ago. And it was right, so I was working, driving to, Pepperdine University, up in Malibu.
She knows it's coming.
Yeah, up in Malibu, and given certain circumstances or whatever, and so I was laid off from work, and so at the time I was laid off of work, And so, you know, it was right when, you know, the economic thing had happened. So I'm, you know, searching for work, looking for work, or whatever the case may be. And at the time, at this time, I still had, I guess, a rosary ideal of what marriage was. So like, you know, like if you're out of work, I'm working for you, and I'm making sure everything is happening. And so like, if you know that I'm not just out here quitting my job and just being a bum, I figured what would happen was that, you know, hey, I got you, babe. You know what I'm saying? You just, I'm not gonna sit here and like make you lazy, but I got you. You're gonna make this whole thing work. And so it was maybe a year or so, and you know, looking for work and whatnot, but the attitude just wasn't what I expected, and it set me like just in a bad place. And so like it made me make choices as far as like, okay, well then fine. If me looking for work is going to garner this attitude from you, then I just won't look for work then. I'll just sit at home and just chill.
You just gave up.
That was it. I was just like, okay, fine, I'll just sit here. And so for the next 2 years, that's what I did. And so then after that, I was like, after a while, like I decided to went back to work and you know, but that was like,
We never talked about it.
yeah, it was like, it was too much for me. It was way too much for me.
So then you guys just moved past it, but you eventually talked about it.
We eventually talked about it, you know, like maybe a year or two later, but it took
long. We actually talked about it.
Yeah, probably. But it was like I had to get to a place where I felt like comfortable talking about it, because like I really,
Because again, I'm selfish.
it just threw me off.
And within that, it was like, you know, you still gotta, I don't know, my expectation of him, because it's kind of like when you set the bar so high, it feels like you should always stay there. And when he wasn't there, it was just like, okay, you're not doing for me anymore. And again, I'm selfish, and it's just like, okay, now you're not working, so you're not doing it for me. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. And I may not have verbally said it, but that's how my attitude was. That's how I walked around the house.
Wow.
Was just like, you know what? I'm doing everything. I'm the one going to work. I'm doing this. I got to come home and do the kids. And it was all about me. But it wasn't, you know. Yeah, Denise. But when he was working. Right. It wasn't like you said, like I just said, you know what, I quit my job, I quit this wonderful health insurance we have, I quit everything. It wasn't like that, but I didn't take it as that.
Right. Life happened.
And I didn't take it that way.
Well, I'm so glad you guys made it through all your hell and tribulation. Before we wrap it up, what would be the one thing, like just real quick, what would be the one thing you would say to couples in our generation?
Communicate. Be open and honest. And even in 16 years, I'm still working on that myself.
Me too.
Just to be open and honest. When something happens, talk about it right then. Because if you just wait and you let it build up, then when you actually blow up, you forget the particulars, you forget the actual facts of why you're so mad.
And you're just mad. And then when you try to pull up stuff, you harp on one instance when he or when she, whoever is mad, will remember it a different way. Right.
But if you would have talked about it when it happened, you wouldn't have built up all this anger.
What would be your advice?
Sometimes it's okay to let the sun go down on you, right?
Oh yeah, no, we let it go down.
Sometimes it's okay because you won't use the right words. But my advice would be learn how to argue. Arguments are inevitable, but there is a way, there is an art, there is a form to arguing. That even if you're arguing, you're still communicating. You're just doing it wrong.
Right, got it. Yeah. I like it. All right, y'all. So we are gonna wrap this up. I mean, the Lunquas, the Gordons. I'm just so proud to be able to pastor them, and the Fishers -1. Right. But make sure you guys follow me on Instagram or Facebook under Michael JT Fisher, and use the hashtag The Vault GZ, THE Vault GZ, as in Greater Zion, to see all the pictures, the bloopers, the little commercials, all that good stuff that we have. Yeah, it's gonna be a great series. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll see you guys later. Be blessed.
All right, peace.
Good job.